Hey everybody, welcome to Tightline. I'm really excited about this day. We are doing something I don't get to do a lot. We're trout fishing in North Georgia, specifically near Ellijay, Georgia, with Reel 'em In Guide Service. We're with James and Jeremiah, and they're going to take us down trout fishing today, and we're with our good friend Ed, and we're going to have a great day fishing on these streams. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing.
Okay, today this is a private water stream. We're going to be fishing a lot of the cuts, runs, different places. We'll be using nymphs on the stream today. May get into some dry fly this afternoon maybe, but that'll be the bulk of what we're probably going to be doing here.
Awesome, and we'll tell you a little bit more about what we're fishing with and what we're doing later, what a nymph is. He's going to explain a lot to me because I'm kind of a rookie at this deal, but you guys stick with us. We're going to have a great day. It was great when we got out there. Ed has actually fly fished before. I've not done a lot of fly fishing, so it was really cool because James took the time before we even got in the water and got out there with us and taught us a lot about fly casting, showed us some techniques about how to do it, how to hold your wrist. It was very, very different from what I was used to in bass fishing, so it was great that he took the time to do that with us.
Right here, we're going to wade off into the stream. We've got a small pocket water. You'll see, if you look across to the far side over here, you'll see a little bit of the white water. It's going to form a real small run off into this little pool right here, and we're going to work this pool a few times and so we can get something to take right there. Okay, and when you say pool, we're looking at a little deeper spot on the other side over there, right? Correct. Okay. If you look across, you can see the rocks here, and as it gets over, it gets dark, and that's where our little hole or our deep pool, our deeper pool's at. Okay.
So I was the first one into the water with Jeremiah, and basically the way the day went was we took turns fishing in this small river because of all the overhanging stuff and the width of this river. We couldn't really fish at the same time because they were really working towards specific fish. So we took turns fishing, and it was an awesome day.
There you go. These fish, when they take a insect in, it only takes them about a half a second to identify where it's a leaf, limb, or an insect. Same way with their flies. It just takes about a half a second or less for them to take that in. They know if it's real or not. So it don't take them too long to be trying to spit that back out. So as soon as that indicator, when that strike indicator goes under the water, set it. Go ahead and be setting. Yeah. Here, we need to take this back down where the brown trout is and turn him loose. Let's get a picture of this right here. This is actually a war paint shiner. And we call them a war paint shiner due to the slash on the side of their face.
We went back and forth taking turns, and really because of the learning curve, we missed a few fish, missed a couple of opportunities, but I finally hooked up with a nice trout.
Command. There. There he is. Rod tip up. Is it a good fish? All right, reel. All right, let loose your reel. Yep, let loose the reel. There you go. Rod tip up. There you go.
Ooh, son. Well, we finally got one on. It took us a little while. Jeremiah is really putting me on him. This is a nice, what kind of fish is this, Jeremiah?
This is a rainbow. Big.
Okay. We're going to see if we can get her in. Little light line, little tiny hook, so you don't want too much pressure on them, right?
Right. Yeah, so just kind of ease up there and just kind of be ready to let them run.
You can't believe the size of these flies. They literally look like flies or gnats.
There you go.
And this is a real nice rainbow. So we're just, tell me if I'm doing it right, Jeremiah.
Yeah, go ahead and let loose your reel there.
Okay.
And just kind of let that drag do its deal.
Just keep tension, right?
Yeah, keep pressure just like you have there to your left. Pressure to your left.
It's my very first one, so I'm listening to what the experts are telling me. But you just can't get any prettier than the place we're fishing and the fish that we've got on here. And you stay after it, and stay after it, and stay after it, and finally, yeah. That is awesome. So this is a rainbow, right?
Beautiful rainbow.
And how big is that rainbow, Jeremiah?
Well, I don't know. We measured it out probably around 22 inches.
22 inches.
Yep.
Man, what a beautiful fish.
Nice hook set.
And this little fly that we're throwing, what does he imitate?
That's a midge.
A midge.
Yep, that's a little midge pattern.
And he changed and changed and changed till they finally found one that would hit. And you're being real careful not to hurt that fish, right? And
right, we want to always,
when
you get them in the net, always keep them with their heads facing against the current. And just leave them in there for a second, and then we can get our photo and make that quick and get her back on our way.
Awesome. So what we're being real careful to not hurt this fish. And so we're gonna try to release it easy. And tell me what I'm doing wrong, Jeremiah. Grabbing tight here. Okay.
Hold them under the ball.
Okay. I'm a rookie at this deal, so there he goes.
There he goes.
Whew. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. We're gonna try to catch some more, man. That was so cool. We came through this little place here and I actually had 2 strikes, and the one came off and the other one just kind of missed it, and then that one hit it and took it, and we caught it, and there may be a few more fish in here, so we're gonna see if we can catch another one.
If you notice on that fish we just caught and released, the color down the side of it was real bright and pink, and usually what that comes from is all the insects that fish is taking in. Set it, set it, set it. Hold on to him. Let go of the slack. Get him on the reel. Just get on the reel. Let go. Get on the reel. There you go. There you go. Hold him right there. Maintain the same pressure. Let's go ahead and turn loose of that reel so he can pull off if he wants to. Just maintain the same pressure the whole time. Remember when he runs up the stream up there, you probably can catch him up on the slack fast enough off the reel, so if he goes up and turns, just go right back to the reel.
Now he's pulling.
Oh, there you go. Bring right tip up, around to the left.
That's not why you're here. We were just putting it in and just letting slack off the cast, and he hit it.
He had a nice fish on and was working him fine, but he actually lost this fish, and probably the reason is because we were using barbless hooks. They're very conscious of conserving these really beautiful fish, and so they use hooks without barbs. So you always have to keep that line tight so they won't come off.
Got him. Strip, 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 strip. Small.
Is he off? No.
Hey, you got a rainbow this time. Come here, baby.
Any cool.
That is a rainbow. You see the brown circles, the dark circles? That's the par markings. That's how we know that this is a wild stream-born fish. Keep working, work. Get him on the reel, let go of the spool. There you go, you're good. There we go, good. Now you just keep him on. Just maintain good tension. If he pulls hard, give him some slack.
Mm-hmm.
Tree is kind of back to your right there, so you have to watch that tree. And easy right in there, Ed, you have to watch that fly line. Don't bring the fly line inside the guides.
Okay.
Keep the rod tip up, turn loose that reel. That way he can pull off if he needs to.
Okay.
Get back over on that other side.
To my left?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let him free line down here. Just keep your rod tip up. Rod tip stays to the left. Rod tip left. What you can't. There you go. You're fine. You're fine.
That joker's strong. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Hey, we got him on.
On this particular fish on the video, we lost our audio, so I want to explain to you actually what I did. I finally got comfortable with this whole fly casting thing, and I'm casting upstream, and I'm doing exactly what they're saying. You want the fly to float naturally, so this fly is floating downstream with the strike indicator. But here's the amazing thing to me. I probably put it within a foot of this fish 20, maybe 25 times, but until it made that exact float, I never got bit. But when I made the right float right across that fish, I caught it. So Jeremiah, tell me a little bit about guiding. You know, how long have you been doing it, and how'd you get into it and that kind of thing?
Well, it's been a short period of time since I've been guiding. I've only been guiding for about a year and a half to 2 years, full time. And but my passion has been trout fishing ever since I was a little kid.
Right.
And so I kind of got my start in helping with youth groups, taking kids out, teaching them how to fly fish, and so piqued my interest, and this is where I am.
That's awesome.
And so I really enjoy it. It's great.
So, you know, guys, the things that you love, that you're passionate about, you see you can do them, just go for it, and that's a good thing.
Slow. All right. Good job. So we got another one.
I think I got on a rainbow, isn't it? Isn't another rainbow?
Yeah, we got another little rainbow down there. Oh,
And we caught him in a deep pool. Am I kind of tangled up?
well, he was probably slung. He probably slung the hook and foul hooked himself. So
What in the world's going on there? Did I tail hook him?
Yeah, he ended up foul hooked,
Okay.
but he probably took the top bug and slung it and ended up getting fouled.
Okay.
So when he jumped out of the water, he probably slung this top bug loose.
So this is another rainbow, right?
Yeah, this is another rainbow, much younger than the ones we've been catching earlier.
And so what you're saying is I probably had him in the mouth and it came out and he got hung again?
Yeah, you probably took this larger bug, and once he slung it, this one caught his tail as it came by.
Okay. Man, it doesn't matter what size they are, they're all beautiful, aren't they?
They're beautiful fish. Yes.
Golly. Look at that. Well, I sure appreciate it, man.
Yes.
You put me right on them. That's awesome. We're going to let him go. Since we're not in the fast-moving rocky stuff, he put a little lighter weight on. And I'm assuming that's to make it look more natural, right? The lighter the weight you can get away with, the better.
And with the slower water, they're a little more discriminate about what they take.
And we actually just saw one come up on top and hit too. I think they're rigging up to try to catch one on top, so we'll see if we can do that. Try to mend again. Whoa, there you go. Rod tip down, 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 down. Just follow. Get him on the reel as fast as you can. Now let go of the fly line with your right hand. Keep him on the reel. Let him run how he wants to run. With my net.
Unbelievable.
I think he got the little, I believe it got the little fly. Yep, it broke him off. Right here, what happened is it just is a heavy fish and just a little too much tension. It just broke the fly, broke the line.
Have you ever had one of those days where it seems like things just don't ever go right? Boy, Ed was kind of having one of those kind of days. In fact, it started actually the day before we got to LJ and something was wrong with our hotel reservation. We thought we were going to have to stay somewhere else, and then we start fishing, and Ed's a good fisherman, but man, he just lost fish. He had a couple come off, a couple of them broke off, but the cool part about what he did, even out here with me, was he didn't quit. He kept going, he kept working at it, and was, finally was paid off with a great fish at the end of the day. And that's an encouragement to me, and actually scripturally, it tells us that we should do that in our lives. I want to share a couple of scriptures with you today that talk about perseverance. The first one is from Romans chapter 5, starting with verse 3, and it says this: "We also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And a hope that does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given us." And see, that's an encouragement to me. A lot of times when you have bad days, it's hard to persevere through it. But when you realize that sufferings or tough things bring you closer to Christ, and they produce perseverance and growth in your life, it makes it a little bit easier to make it through those kinds of days. Another verse is in James chapter 1. Chapter 1 verse 2, it says this: "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." That's the kind of person I want to be: mature and complete, not lacking anything. And sometimes hard things in your life produce that. Now, you may not be able to make it through hard things in your life. They may be making it really tough for you because you don't have a relationship with Jesus. And the way to do that today, if you want to ask Him into your heart for the first time, is just admit to Him you're a sinner, turn away from those sins, ask Him to come and live in your heart and be Lord of your life. Hey, thanks so much for listening today. And if you're having a tough day, remember that those sufferings and those tough things can produce perseverance and hope in your life. Hey guys, what we do at Go Fish Ministries is share the gospel and encourage believers in their walk with Christ. We do this through a variety of events such as wild game dinners, kids camps, men's events, music events, or even if you or someone you know just needs a day on the water. Go Fish Ministries wants to point you toward Jesus and help you know Him better. Contact us through our website. We'd love to serve you any way we can. God bless you, and go fish.
Try to get him on the reel there. Go ahead and get him on the reel other way. Keep working him, work, let off the fingers, let off the reel. Just hold on to him now. Just let him do all the fighting against you, and when he comes at you, you'll reel. Let him go, let him run, just keep turning. Just maintain your rod tension like you got it, and stay to the right just like you are. You're fine right here. Don't touch that reel unless he's coming at you, then you grab the reel knob and turn. I'll go ahead and stroke that reel about one time. There you go. Again.
Alex, I hope you're praying. Royce, you praying?
Once we get the fish wore down a little bit, then we'll have higher opportunities to land it. I'll go ahead and come up and to the right a little bit, your rod tip. There you go, you're good. There you go. Hey guys, we saved the biggest and the baddest for the end. Keep reeling, reel, reel, reel. Easy, just keep coming, reeling, reel, reel, reel. Keep coming. Keep reeling, reel. Man.
How long was
Oh, Lordy, Lordy. That's a big brown. Look at them beautiful red dots on it.
What a pretty
You're good.
fish.
Let's keep its head in the water. Make sure we're going to have to baby this one for a minute or two.
So James, tell me a little bit about like how long have you been guiding, and then specifically how long have you been doing it here, and maybe a little bit about how you got into it.
Okay, well, I've been guiding. I started back around 97.
Okay.
And
that's 1997.
1997,
Okay.
yes, sir. Actually, I had came back. We'd been in service for a few years. I had to go, got caught in a Confederate storm, had come back home. I had a friend of mine kept inviting me out to fish, and it's always fly fishing. And I was a bass fisherman, trout, spin rod, that type of stuff. And so I took, and he asked me for like 2 or 3 years. And then this is back in the early 90s. And finally he caught me on the right day, took me. We went up on this stream here, but several miles upstream. And I caught my first little wild rainbow on a dry fly, probably 6 inches long. And it just sparked that, I want to do this some more.
Yeah.
And for a couple of years, I fished a lot by myself up in here in different areas. And then my wife, she's the one that actually coaxed me into starting to guide. And I started guiding for myself and for Unicoi Outfitters, and worked for them for a few years. And then in 2001 I started Reel 'em In Guide Service.
Okay. And that's how they can get in touch with you, through Reel 'em In Guide Service. And we'll put all his information on the screen later. But man, if you guys get a chance to come up and fish with James and Jeremiah or any of his guides, you know, this is my very first time doing this. And they put me on 3 nice ones. And Ed lost a couple nice ones, caught that big brown. And man, we've had a great day. So I appreciate it so much.
I've enjoyed it too.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know, when I look at the tournaments I've won, probably 4 or 5 of the boats that I've won have been on a tube. But I had completely gotten away from flipping a tube because nobody made one soft enough.
Big Bite has come with this new tour series of baits. The thing that's probably the most unique is when you look at that bait, the salt just rolls out of it. And to me, that is the reason a fish bites a tube and hangs on to it. This isn't one of those let's go out and catch some smallmouth tube. This is a let's get it done tube.
Hey guys, what we do at Go Fish Ministries is share the gospel and encourage believers in their walk with Christ. We do this through a variety of events such as wild game dinners, kids camps, men's events, music events, or even if you or someone you know just needs a day on the water. Go Fish Ministries wants to point you toward Jesus and help you know Him better. Contact us through our website. We'd love to serve you any way we can. God bless you and go fish. So what we're doing today, Ed and I, when we were fishing with Reel 'em In Guide Service up in LJ, the way they had us fishing, we were fishing one at a time. We were never really together. So we didn't have much of a chance to talk. So today, for a few minutes, we're going to be at our local pond trying to catch some bass and chatting a little bit about Ed's story. So we'd love for y'all to hear that story. So Ed, you have quite an interesting story about coming to know Christ. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up Jewish in Columbus.
Okay.
And I say real Jewish, and what I mean by that is went to Hebrew school twice a week, went to a worship service on Friday night, and on Saturday morning went to Sunday school on Sunday morning. And Jewish Sunday school is a little different than it is really in a church, because it was 3 hours, and
Now slow that thing down, fish it slow.
And you're working, you're studying and learning about the culture. It's real academic, I guess, is the best way to say it. Our first son was born, and we just started raising our kids the same way that I was raised. And after really about 15 years, I just decided I wanted to believe what the truth was. And I figured if something was true, then something wasn't true. And I just wanted to know what the truth was. And I had never read a Bible, went to all of that kind of religious education, but never read a Bible, which sort of didn't make any sense. But I picked up a Bible in 2001 and just started reading from page 1 and just started reading obsessively, really. Every night I'd sit down in my chair and I'd start reading the Bible and reading and reading and reading. And as I would get to a passage that I thought was, I was really going in there trying to prove that this Jesus guy that my friends had talked about, just really, there was nothing to him. And I kind of believed everything that was in there, and I thought, well, I want to read the New Testament, but I thought, I'm a nice Jewish boy, I can't be reading a New Testament.
Right.
But I started reading it, and it's not, coincidence that Matthew is the first book in the New Testament. It's a perfect bridge from the Old to the New.
Yeah.
And so I started reading the New Testament, and from about September to November, I finished the New Testament. January 17th, I was driving to work. It was pouring down rain about 5:30 in the morning. And I just realized that death on that cross, well, first of all, I realized that I was truly a sinner.
Right.
Because I grew up being taught that men and women were basically good.
Right.
But all the evidence points otherwise, right?
Right, sure.
And so I realized that I was a sinner, and I realized that death on that cross really took care of all of that sin. And I just broke down, and I was crying like a baby. It was the craziest thing ever. And I got to work, and I called my wife, and I told her, and ultimately I realized in the sort of years to come that she had been praying for 15 years, the first 15 years of our marriage, for that. And her family had been praying for that. And so I got saved that morning, went and talked to my parents, because me and my dad were very, very close, worked together for years. And ultimately, it was not really a good thing. My family kind of put us to the curb and really didn't talk to us for ultimately about 5 years. Those relationships have been mended now.
That's awesome.
Because God redeems broken things.
That's right.
And He did that.
Well, that's very cool, man. And to me, the coolest thing about your story is it's really nothing but the Word of God that changed your life. That's what you delved into.
100%.
Started reading the Word, and so then we start reading about how God's Word's alive and active, and you hear stories like yours, and you realize, man, that's really true. Attaboy.
I mean, he hit it.
Yep, as soon as it hit, walk toward him now, stay right there.
He hit that as soon as it hit the water.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. We saw all the bait out here, and they were chasing. That's a good fish. Just keep that rod up. The bait's chasing, or it's chasing bait, and so your clue is, hey, try to keep him out. Yep, come on over. Yeah, there you go. Now try to pull him toward you. Now keep his head up. You bring him to me, I'll get him for you. Good job, brother. Nice. Look at that. Good job, man.
Didn't lose that one.
So that's about a 3.5, 4 pounder.
Yeah, that's a pretty fish.
Yeah, and what we're doing is fish, we're trying to be opportunistic. There's one little shady spot left. Alex said, let's go down to that shade. There's fish chasing. I'm gonna let you do the
So Alex made the call. Yeah, that's a pretty, that's a
big fat nice
pretty
one.
fish, yeah. That was cool.
It's all the Georgia shirt, that's what it is. Hey, we so appreciate you guys being with us today. First part of the show, us being up on the in LJ with Reel 'em In Guide Service with James and Jeremiah. Man, we had an awesome day catching big old trout, and then to be able to be here today and hear a little bit of Ed's story and catch a couple bass, man, it was just a great cap off to the day. So, hey man, thanks for going with me.
Oh, it was a blast.
Thanks for your story.
It was a blast.
And thank y'all for being with us, and join us next time.